All right, good morning. Good morning. How we doing? So today the main focus is going to be pretty simple. Early on in the sesh here, we just want to see if buyers are going to be able to continue to defend that prior day low. You can see the near-term structure here following Tuesday's downtrend day. Right? Yesterday we have more of a neutral session, price largely just trading within that prior day's range. Now this morning, poised to open within that prior day's range. So my main focus is going to be how price responds to that prior day's low. You have the pre-market low right through there as well in that 18,820 level of interest. Now remember, below this point, below this prior day low, this overnight low on both ES and NQ, we have an unfilled regular trading hours gap. So sellers are going to be most interested in seeing that gap fill. That'll be the move that you want to look for should the pre-market low and the prior day low start to fail. Now, if prior day low continues to hold, right, we'll be looking for strength up through 18,900 to test that weekly volume point of control and that 19K area right through here. You can see that overnight resistance through there as well, all through this area. So that is the focus there for NQ. That prior day low already tested on the back of jobless claims we had a little less than an hour ago. So if we take a look at the intraday, you could see that test there right into that prior day low, buyers stepping in and then bouncing into VWAP, rejecting VWAP, and now just kind of oscillating here near that 18,900. Now bouncing over to ES, pretty similar, right? ES continues with the relative strength versus NQ. But as far as the watch, it's the same thing. We want to see, can buyers continue to defend this kind of near-term area of support right through here? And if they can, watch for that move up through 55.40 to retest the prior day high. Level of interest at 55.40 aligns nicely with the pre-market high. So pretty straightforward. Prior day low, primary watch. Yesterday was an inside day, more of a compression type of session, right? So we want to see if price can break that prior day's range or not. Now we do have a data print at both 9:45 and 10 a.m. today. So keep an eye on that as well. Per usual, not going to be in any rush off of the open. The objective here is to let that intraday structure develop. Let that easiest money play of the session develop. It's not always going to be first thing in the morning, right? There's no need to rush right off of the open. Just want to see how that structure develops, who's taking control, which side is taking control of the market early on. Look for any clues, and then wait for our play. Got to reload my chart there. So 3 minutes till the open. ES reclaiming that overnight VWAP. Bumping into that prior day volume point of control, which is also the weekly volume point of control. So a reminder on volume point of control just shows you volume through price rather than volume through time. Does not look like we'll be working with any sort of gap this morning on ES. So about 1 minute till the open. Going to be looking at 18,900 here on NQ. Mostly interested in that prior day low though. That pre-market low, prior day low reaction. There's the open. S&P with a little bit of push off of the open there, testing that prior day volume point of control. Here's your regular trading hours chart. Up through that 900 area on NASDAQ. Just shy of VWAP now. VWAP is at 925. What we want to see here, if buyers are able to defend the 900 and push up through VWAP, or if price is going to retest that prior day low area. Kind of struggling with that 900 area so far. Let's see how that opening 5-minute bar closes. There's NQ with some fresh highs there. Pressing the highs, coming into VWAP. There's VWAP being tested. The very small gap fills up into 940, so that's just overhead here. And then you have your prior day volume point of control up into 960. Up through 940. Overnight gap completely filled there. Small overnight gap completely filled. So ES just kind of oscillating between that prior day volume point of control and VWAP here, pushing the session low. Kind of in no man's land. Like I said, prefer to see some action versus prior day low, pre-market low area, or that 5540 area there on ES. NQ coming back into that 900 level of interest. So let's see if that 900 can hold. There's prior day volume point of control on NASDAQ. And then from the pre-market session, if you take a look at market structure, you do have kind of a lower high right through there before price tests that 19K, which is really the next big level to be watching. There's a look at that prior day structure with today's action. So buyers showing up pretty well so far. We've got data, first data print of the session in about 9 minutes. Yeah, agreed. We're still within the context of that pre-market prior day low test and hold, definitely, based on higher time frames, 15 and 30-minute chart. Daily bar trying to flip green there on NQ. That's notable. Let's see if that 19K can be tested. Just shy of 19K now. Pretty good bounce off the open. Pre-market high is 19,006, it looks like. See if we get a break of the 19K right here. There we go, up and through. Just shy of that overnight high now. There's your overnight high. Coming into that prior day value area high. So much like yesterday now, the main watch is whether buyers can continue to hold this structure. That'll be the focus. Can the structure continue to hold? We do have data in 5 minutes. Yeah, there was a little shallow pullback entry down near 900. Let's see this 19K area. Data in about 3 minutes. First data print, then we have another at 10 a.m. So 1 minute showing some exhaustion up near this 19K area. If you like, you can start to throw your fib out there, kind of get a sense of what type of retracement we're looking at. My preference would be to see action above 19K. How's S&P doing? So S&P tested that 5540. If buyers can break 5540 on ES and show acceptance, you'll be looking at the prior day high most likely. So definitely a level to keep an eye on. 90 seconds till data. All right, so data here in 30 seconds. 19K is on watch for NQ. Let's see. And then ES 5540. Gonna be the main watch there. So pretty much still here at 19K. There's your new high on NQ. ES made a new high as well. Still kind of struggling with that 5540 area. So right now, still just watching reaction here at 19K. Want to see how this kind of little consolidation continues to build out, continues to develop. And don't forget, we have more data at 10 a.m. That'll be the last print for today. And then tomorrow is the big one. I believe it's NFP tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken. So another thing to keep in mind, day before NFP, what is the likelihood of a big market move, of a big trend day? It's possible, but definitely could be another range day. So ES continuing to struggle with that 5540 area. Session volume point of control currently aligns with the prior day volume point of control, which is also your weekly volume point of control. So could just continue to kind of range trade around this point into tomorrow's NFP. And Q pulling in a bit here. Keep an eye on the structure. Near term sideways range. Ten till 10 till data. There's ES sitting on VWAP currently. So I wouldn't be surprised to see price continue to sit here in this consolidation pattern until 10 a.m. Patience, patience, patience. Five-minute, not all that compelling. Just consolidation here. $19K remains the main watch. Level of interest. And Q making a stretch for the highs again there. So 6 minutes till data. NQ just kind of in a holding pattern here near 19K level of interest. And the reaction here from this consolidation pattern stays as the primary watch. We have that next data print here in 5 minutes. And the focus into 10 a.m. and really past 10 a.m. is whether 19K can hold. NQ with a new high. Nothing wrong with a little cash flow. Yes, sir, Dom. A little cash floaty. So NQ bumping into that prior day value area high. I use these just as reference points, especially when price is just trading within the prior day's range. Volume's actually pretty good, all things considered. See if we could get some fresh highs in NQ data in about 3 minutes. Fresh highs, come on. There we go. So next notable area is pretty much that prior day high. A little bit of resistance here in this 19,075 area from the past couple of sessions. Nothing crazy, but a decent open this morning. Level to level move, then a little consolidation pattern. Let's see if we get a true test of the prior day high. It's kind of the ultimate objective right now. Data in 90 seconds. NQ new high of day. Lifted my trail up to about 35. right below that little market structure point, little micro structure. May raise it again here as we get into data. Right into 37. Data in 20 seconds. Here comes the trail. Wow, still in. Still in there for now. There we go. Very nice. So let's see if that prior day high can be tested here. $19,100. Where's the prior day high? 19,115. 19,115. I'm raising trails up just below 65. And if this thing tags 98 area, I'll just cut the rest. I'm gonna raise them again here. A little bit more. There we go. I'm all out. That's probably a wrap on my day. 2 longs, one from around 18,900, and then the next one at 19K, just trading my levels. NQ into prior day high here. I would expect some sellers to attempt to step in this area. Let's see how it develops. Yeah, pretty good action. Pretty good action. So NQ bumping into that prior day high now. Don't need the fib on here anymore. Now, if we can get a break of the prior day high that sustains, that's your inside day break. So you probably want to keep an eye on things if that does happen. But if it rejects here, then I suspect probably just be another neutral range day ahead of NFP. So I'll be looking at the reaction here into 115, 140 area. So we're looking at the reaction at prior day high here on NQ. Where's ES at? ES up and through 55.40. Look at that pullback to VWAP. At the prior day volume point of control there, you have the 1 minute hammer. It's really nice. NQ actually stronger than ES so far this morning. NQ already up into that prior day high. ES is not quite there. So ES kind of in no man's land here. Ideally, some sort of retest of the 55.40 would materialize. If you didn't catch that pullback to VWAP, that's going to be your next best play. NQ still bumping into that prior day high. So I'm watching prior day high here, see if price can break above and whether or not it's going to show acceptance above that prior day high. So there's your kind of little blip above, right? A little look above the prior day high. How we doing? How's the morning? Capture any longs? Cashed up? What's the vibe out there? Cashed, wanted a break and retest of the 19K, didn't get it. SPY calls today. Daily gold, nice. Nice. Yeah, I like that that 19K retest, Mish. this candle right here, prior day volume point of control, and then I actually wait for a break up and through 19K. So like I think my buy was around 19,002. Yeah. There it is. So you can still use the level with what price gives you. So one way to go about it. NQ kind of rejecting that prior day high now. Tough location here. Very tough spot. Regular trading hours, volume point of control shifted up into this area. So the question is this accumulation to trigger the breakout ahead of NFP tomorrow, or is price rejecting this kind of near-term range high, and we're going to see the near-term range trade for today and then potentially break out tomorrow with NFP? That's the question. That is the question. Pretty decent 10 a.m. reversal time there at prior day high with that little look above, right? Let's take a look at ES. So ES, yeah, you want to keep an eye on the 5540. There's your 15-minute. It's that prior structure high right through here. So if this area fails, right, you can expect potentially that low to be retested. Keep an eye on that 15-minute bar as well. Looks like no bid at the 5540 anyway. So if you're short from the prior day high reject on NQ, probably want to start covering into 19K. Be a good spot to do so. Did TSX end up resolving all their issues? I remember that was a problem yesterday. Anyone know on that? They sent an email? Nice. I figured they make it right. They usually do. Check out that 15-minute bar. So pretty clear rejection of the prior day high. The idea discussed earlier about the range day ahead of NFP looks to be playing out so far. I mean, we're only 45 minutes into the session, so still very early. They fixed all the red trades. Nice. That's good. Missed opportunity cost. Yeah. I mean, it's part of the game, definitely. Even normal brokers are going to have their issues. Self-funded account, and if they have an issue and you have a red trade, they don't reset it. I'll tell you that right now. Tough luck. That was the original reason I left Thinkorswim many years ago. Found myself in a triple-sized setup on Amazon with 3x the amount of calls that I originally intended to purchase. Thankfully it worked, but that was my last trade ever on Thinkorswim. It was a little too scary. Yeah, that was a brutal one. So NQ pulling back here. We want to see if 19K is going to be retested. A little bit of a bounce versus that prior intraday structure. Remember that consolidation right through here, right? So ES kind of churning here near that 55.40. Not much of a bounce there. Keep an eye on those higher time frames. ES did not test that prior day high. NQ definitely much stronger for today. See where we're at as far as the fib retracement. Wow, perfect test at a 38% retracement there. 50 would have been nice with that 19K level. No new trades for me post 10 a.m. Here was the morning. I think it was like 160 points on NQ captured. So no need to push it. I am still watching in case NQ breaks the prior day high within the next 40 minutes or so for that inside day break. If not, it'd be time to call it. So ES up through 55.40 now. Buyers looking to defend that 55.40 area. It's that level of interest, higher time frame level of interest, as well as the pre-market high. Remember the structure right through here. So prior resistance likely to become support. If this area fails, you'll be looking at a move down into here. So far holding pretty nicely. Look at this. This is pretty typical action here. You'll see that initial bounce. Buyers step in, right? Undercut the low, shake all of them out just to put in the real move. See stuff like that all the time. Same thing on NQ. That hammer gets all the buyers in just to undercut the low of that candle and then put in the move. If you can align yourself with where you think you've identified the traps, this entry, right, instead of this entry, because of the trap here, you have a much greater degree of success. It's kind of the basis of like the spring setup that we talk about so frequently in the think tank. Find the traps. Same thing earlier in the sesh with the 10 a.m. reversal time at that prior day high on NQ. You have early shorts step in, right? Their stop gets ran, and then you see the real move. See that all the time. Now NQ coming into the highs there. And ES as well. If you bought the 55.40, start trimming. Start to trim. Some nice setups today, man. Gotta love it. So NQ, now we want to see how's the prior day high going to be treated. Do we have that inside day break? Back into the prior day high here. Almost 1 hour into the session. Pretty nice bounce there. NQ, can it make a new high? Let's see. Yep, there we go. New high of day on NQ. That's a break of the prior day high coming into that 140 level of interest. So now buyers are looking for acceptance above this prior day high area. So far there's an inside day break. Let's see. Yeah, check out that QQQ daily. Let's take a look at SPY. Unfilled gap there continues to be defended. SPY still an inside day. So no break there. NQ definitely the stronger. Take a look at that daily. It looks pretty good. Should make for an interesting NFP tomorrow. Anyone grab that pullback? ES or NQ? ES making a fresh high of day. Still not into the prior day high there. Got the ES. Nice. Nice. Maureen, you got the 5540? Nice. Good trades. Good trades. Good trades. Yeah, shut it down while you're ahead. Shut it down while ahead. Builds consistency, helps to build the confidence. Benny going for the 150. What was your entry? Still riding from 19K? Nice. Yeah, that little setup right there. Yeah, I like that. Very nice. Yeah, 150's there. There's 150. Nice trade. Not even an hour into the day. Some great setups. So keep an eye on this prior day high area, 140 level of interest area here on NQ. ES still in that no man's land. Last decent location, last decent setup was the 5540. So NQ, good bounce near that prior day high. Trying to show that acceptance above the prior day high. That's what buyers are working on right now. Watch this 140 area. ES still in no man's land here. Need action either versus the 55.65 or 55.40. So NQ, some selling versus the 140 prior day high area. See how this structure builds out in this zone. So rolling over a bit more now. You can take the fib again if you like. Get some reference points. Nearest levels of interest again are 140 and 19K. On NASDAQ. About 1 hour into the sesh. Regular trading hours still shows volume point of control up here. So the question that I posed earlier remains, and that is this accumulation to kind of trigger the inside day breakout, or do we have distribution up here and price continues to trade within that range, knowing that we have NFP tomorrow? Still pretty good volume, all things considered. So just staying patient. Let the structure develop. Let the structure build. Trading is a game of patience. Kind of consolidating here right near that prior day high. How's our extended trading hours profile looking? So it looks like volume point of control probably gets ready to shift here if price spends maybe another 5 minutes in this area. $262-point move intraday, a little more than half an ATR, about 3/4 of an ATR. See what ES is doing. So yeah, similar type of formation here. See how things continue to build here, about 20 minutes till 11 a.m. It's usually a pretty good cutoff time if we don't have anything new to work with. Volume's starting to taper down a bit. Prior day high remains on watch here on NQ. Bit more sellers stepping in there. Volume point of control just about getting ready to shift here. You can see that high volume node building out right through here. Yours shifted, 19,100. Mine hasn't shifted just yet. I might have some different settings on my profile. On that volume profile, settings might be a little different. There it goes. Oh man, I don't know you're on Ninja Trader. You don't use TradingView at all? Ninja Trader, I've never used it. Nice. Good to hear, Lee. Gotta love it. So NQ still just watching the reaction here near prior day high. We've got the volume point of control there now as well. Buyers, of course, looking for acceptance up and through that prior day high. 15-minute bar closes in 1 minute here. It is an inside bar. And that'll be 15 minutes until 11 a.m. Personally, just watching the reaction here, watching how the structure builds out near prior day high. I haven't placed any new trades post 10 a.m. Sitting about plus 160 NQ points on the sesh. So typically need to see something very, very compelling before I place another trade. There's NQ rolling over a bit more. Coming into that intraday area of support right there near 19,040, right through here. So if this area breaks, you'll have a bearish change in character intraday. There's ES back near 55.40. ES has been weaker today. Did not give a true test of that prior day high. Here comes NQ into that most recent higher low. See if it gives a change in character here. Then you have 19K just below with VWAP right there as well. So let's see if that intraday support holds. It's a higher low, or if 19K is going to trade. as of right now, buyers failed to show that acceptance above the prior day high. So intermediate term, near term structure does favor that range. Not all that surprising considering NFP is tomorrow. It's kind of where we're at right there. Near term range. So potential intraday change in character in the making now. That is bearish. And ES as well. ES actually almost into the session low here. Pretty good uptick in volume as well. It's definitely getting more interesting. TV as a monitor? No, there's an entire video on my trade setup on the channel. No TV though. Just basic monitors. Yeah, 19K reaction here will be telling, especially as we get into 11 a.m. So look at those 30-minute bars. So if this zone fails here on NQ, you could probably look at that 18,900 area being retested. ES just shy of that session low now. No bid at 19K there. NQ into VWAP. There's ES with a new low of day. Good volume coming in. Really good volume coming in. If the low fails, you're looking at prior day low area and that pre-market low. So it's kind of last reference point for buyers. NQ continues with the relative strength here. Right at 19K. Right at VWAP. So again, if this zone fails, where will price trade? Probably in prior day volume point of control, but most likely down into here. So let's see how this 19K area is treated as we get into 11 a.m. About 8 minutes till 11 a.m. all that volume we were discussing earlier up here, now that we have the benefit of hindsight, right? Distribution. What days do I stream on YouTube? Most of the streams are private. There's no schedule for the public ones. Whenever I feel like it. So NQ, watch how this structure builds out here at 19K. So far, buyers not all that responsive here. See how ES is doing. ES flipped red on the day as far as the daily bar. Undercut the low, but the bounce did not show much follow through there. So about 5 minutes till 11. See if we get any action into 11 a.m. But so far, near-term range is the play, and price currently mid-range. Buyer stepping in a bit more there. See if this zone can continue to hold. You have the level of interest, VWAP, pre-market high, and then the fib retracements as well. The significant fib retracements being the 50 and the 61%. Three minutes till 11. See if 11 a.m. helps to resolve this kind of little consolidation here. There's ES holding the low. So a little bit of a spring setup there. Here's a look at that 5-minute. You can see the near-term structure more clearly. Near-term range. Mid-range, right? So I wouldn't be surprised to see price continue to hold within the range before tomorrow's NFP, and then some directional move with NFP. So ES coming back into the low. Next major zone to watch on this thing is down into that prior day low. And remember, you do have the unfilled gap just beneath. So if that prior day low gives out, watch for the gap fill. New low of day there on ES. There's NQ through VWAP. And we are 90 minutes into the session there. $90 mins. Pretty good morning session. Some good action. Good action. Good intraday opportunities. Near-term structure being respected, right? Here's NQ resolving lower. Coming for that session low, that 18,900 area on NQ. And here comes ES, like we discussed. If the low fails, look for that prior day low. Coming into that prior day low right now. Big volume coming in. Huge volume. For me personally, no new trades post 10 a.m. There's the executions. 2 longs. Put me well over daily goal. Most likely call it there. I'll keep an eye here on NQ into essentially into prior day low if it gets there. I want to see the reaction of this near-term range low and whether or not it's going to hold. But otherwise, that's a wrap on my morning. Hope you guys had a good sesh. I'm going to hop off here. We're going to continue, as we always do, in the Traders Think Tank. If you have questions, shoot me a DM there. Thanks for tuning in.